Hello, with my work team, Viviana Carvajal, Tatiana Camacho, and Ida Lopez. We will explain our project for the export of soy from Colombia to the United States. It will be done from the company Mercado Libre. Our company manages a solid platform of electronic commerce. We explain how we use a subsidiary of the company to achieve or impact on the trade of the country choice. The United States was was chosen as the export country after perform an analysis of the different variables such as internal and exchange rate policy, intereconomy, important tax, and the market.
We are going to present the guide number 3, that is budget of capital and risks. To start, we will start with the following questions that, according to Madura's book, we can give the following perspective. First one, when and how can you see your exposure affected by transaction if you decide only bill in dollars? If the company decides to invoice in dollars, it will be exposed to a risk of loss of gain since it's not known how the currency will be in the future. Because it increases, it will be more pesos to exchange a dollar, or if it happens otherwise, if it decreases, the exchange rate will be lower. Second one, why are the limitations of using future and foreign currency options that may take it difficult for your company to hedge against currency risks? In case the company has made an agreement either in a future contract or in another currency option for a value less than the one that is going to require within the stipulated time, if is where the exchange risk might be difficult, because if the balance is missing, the higher the currency and the more appreciated. This means that the company must use more national currency to cover the missing value. Third one, how could your company gauge against conversion exposure? The company can gauge against a conversion exposure through a 1-year forward contract based on the profits of the previous year. That is, if they were 30 million, can make it a contract with that value, and the exchange rate is the one that is nowadays. In case that arrives in a year, the exchange rate appreciates, is one does not have losses by the conversion. Number 4, what if the corporate international control and what are the barriers? In the subsidiaries, managers do not always work for the benefits of the shareholder, but for their own interests. When it happens, the bad management begins to be noticed, and the actions of the companies begin to fall. This is when another company can take over the administration, taking new changes. It is in the way that the company could be exposed to attempt to take control. If the company decides not to take the new company, the interest multinational could buy the shares for the disinterested people, achieving a limit of intake of decision and interfere in it. The company must establish certain barriers from the beginning, either through a clause, so was the company's interventions, if more difficult and they do not take control of it. So, the capital budget is presented to give and indexed if the importation and subsidiary in the United States is viable or not. Mercado Libre or free markets wants to market toys imported from the United States either by hiring or buying companies from this country, all depending on the analysis of the relevant input data for the decision making of his new project. For this, the following multinational capital budget is prepared. Initial investment. The project requires an initial investment of $74,130 projected to for 3 years, which includes funds to support working capital, either inventory, salary, or other expenses until the project begins to generate income. Given the exchange rate in Colombia, the TRM to date is 3,082 pesos, and meaning that the amount of Colombian pesos for the initial investment of importation toys from the United States is $228 million, right around 228 millions. So price and customer demand. A comparison of prices and demand is established for the last 3 years. So basically in 2014 we are gonna have a forecast for around $40,000, and the demand, the average toy cost is gonna be $40,000, and the demand is gonna be around 40,000 units, right? So for the 2015, $43,000, and the demand is the average of still the 40,000. For the year 2016, and the average per dollar was around 45,000, and the units, it was as well 45,000 units. So costs. The commercialization of importing toys is designed through the hiring of the Gemeling company located in the United States, where it manages different toy suppliers. The company to handle a price of $90 per unit of the toy, with additional charge of 40.5% of the total purchase. That is the cost that the company charges for using the service. Additional, the cost of the supplier will be substantiated by 50% by the company and the other 50% by the client. Tax laws. As of January 1st, 2018, the company rate in the United States will be adjusted to 20%. This means a reduction of 14% compared to the current rate of 35%. In the income of transparent entities, the tax will be 25%. A deduction of 20% of the income obtained from some personal businesses will be granted. In addition, the minimum alternative corporate tax, that is AMT for its acronym in English, is eliminated. In this situation, U.S. company will not have to pay a minimum tax in the United States. With regard to deductions, an immediate reduction is proposed for investments made in new and used fixed assets acquired as September 2017. Without this incentive, being appreciable for the real estate. So we're gonna talk about the referrals of funds, right? So the subsidiary that will be created will send all these net cash flows to the present company every year. The United States government does not make decisions. Government does not make many additional charges, only when what it is regulated for imports issues. Exchange rate. The exchange rate of the dollar is 3,082 pesos. Its variation has not been as significant during the last year, but an increase can be stimulated since they want to generate greater value of the currency. Rescue value. According to the tax reform of the United States, it has 80% according to the fixed asset minimum for the accumulated depreciation according to the duration of the subsidiary. No time is stipulated, but changes in the percentage can be made during the course of time. Requires performance rates based on the net income to the last quarter of the previous year of Mercado Libre or free market, which was $5.3 million, a basic net profit of 12 cents. So that's right now what Mercado Libre requires, a return of the 10%.
Hello. We're gonna see the identification of the risk variables. What is the probability level, the impact, and the evaluation? So we are gonna explain what is the evaluation process that we made in every risk. The first one is about the government changes. The analysis, the probability is medium. The impact can be either positive or negative. So every 4 years it is made a change in the government, and that is a variable of risk since every president can determine the policies that can favor or not the exportation of the country. The other risk are the different barriers for access to the country, the analysis. The probability is medium too, but the impact is negative in this case. This was one of the policies which Trump received his election as a president for the United States. And this has a really negative impact for the people that export products, since policies for buy them many things for them, and it causes a real high impact in their earnings and incomes too. Other aspect is the inflation. The risk in this probability is slow and the impact is positive, since this moment it is determined that the USA comes with a level of inflation. Talking the interest rates, the risk probability is high in this case, but it either can have a positive or negative impact, since when there is an increase in the interest rate by the Fed or FED, USA is more attractive for the inversionist, and these deliveries are high raised in the dollar value around the world. So this situation favors the USA economy. The final variable that we are going to talk about, this is the exchange rate. In this case, the probability is high, but the impact can be positive or negative. It is determined as a variable that can be positive or negative, since the dollar is presenting a constant variation, and however it's considered one of the most powerful currencies around the world. So the impact can go up or down anyway. Nevertheless, after analyze all the risk variables, we could identify the risk totally possible and importation plan to USA, having in mind that the economy situation is favorable, favorable, and it could provide a real high income to Mercado Libre. So thank you very much.